So what does BDSM stand for? For the people who have never heard of BDSM, which to me is freaking fantastic, that's exciting, but also um, if you don't know what the acronyms stand for, B stands for bondage, D stands for domination, submission, or dominant submission, the relationship, dom sub relationship, and then S stands for sadism, M stands for masochism. Sadism is the supposed sexual arousal from harming someone else. Masochism is the supposed sexual arousal from being harmed from someone else. And I say supposed for a reason. The an A healthy sexual arousal, an actual sexual arousal, is very safe. It is healthy. It is something that you experience from safety. There is a fear-based response um, that turns into arousal that can be warped and misconstrued into sexual arousal. It's kind of a way for the mind and body to survive. So I don't consider this actual sexual arousal. I consider this sort of like it's trauma arousal, trauma sexual arousal. It's it's a trauma arousal. It's not actual sexually healthy arousal, but it's misconstrued as that. I'm gonna have to fine tune that some more, but just for the general speaking of this, BDSM creates this confusion that a trauma response is what sexual arousal is. BDSM does not create sexual arousal from safety. It does not do that. Sexual arousal is born of safety. Unfortunately, we have such a sexually violent world that a lot of people don't know this and they don't know the distinction. And that's why they find themselves in these situations and they get groomed into it because we have a society that overall is supporting this narrative. Of course, because who benefits from it, right? The people of power who are un- unmanaged psychopaths and unmanaged narcissism. Again, that's not to put NPD down. I'm talking about those who don't manage it. And unmanaged psychopathic behavior as well, like people who are just not managing any stuff and they're just running rampant. That's who runs the world. So, of course, it would benefit them to groom people into conflating these things. It behooves them to have a society that is primed for them. It's people are so groomed for this, and they're being preyed on. They're being preyed on. So that's why I make that distinction, that supposed sexual arousal. And I don't. It doesn't mean that they don't bring it into sexuality. It doesn't mean that they can't climax to it and stuff like that. But it's not. I make the distinction because actual sexual arousal is healthy. It's based on safety. It's based on trust. It's um, it's not based off of a warped sense of survival where things have been misconstrued in the mind as a way to survive trauma. So sadism and masochism is a trauma response, and it's unmanaged. It's an unmanaged trauma response, and the impact can ruin lives. It's absolutely devastating. It's very harmful to the person and people involved. And it's the very foundation of BDSM. How could you say, and this is what's wild, right? This is what I'm talking about, how BDSM gaslights and grooms. It is clearly telling you bondage, domination, submission, sadism, and masochism in the acronym. And then has the audacity to say in the motto is safe, sane, and consensual. No part of that acronym is safe, sane, nor consensual. So it already starts off. The vernacular is really important in BDSM, and that's why I'm going to continue to deconstruct it. But the vernacular that is used in BDSM is very important to pay attention to.